Dear students, this is pressure control trainer. I will explain you various parts of the experimental setup. These are the tanks: tank B1, tank rating B2, pressure sensor to sense the pressure of any one of the tank at a time. The tanks can be filled with compressed air. The compressed air enters here, then it goes to the pressure regulators. You can see the configuration. It enters to pressure regulators, and the pressure regulator number 1, it is 6 bar maximum. It gives supply to the tanks B1 and B2, whereas the pressure regulator 2, it is maximum 2 bars. It gives supply to the control valve. The air enters through the control valve and goes to the tanks. You can adjust the supply, you can change the supply of the compressed air by moving the valve HV1. In this position, the arrows show that the air enters tank B1. If you want to operate the tank B1 only, close the valve, so the air will enter only tank B1. The output from the tank B1 is from here. You can open it. There is some output from the tank and the air is entering from here. Now, how to measure the pressure? By changing the position of the valve HV3. If you move it like this, this measures the pressure of the tank B1. With the arrow, this is connected to B1. If you want to connect this to B2, you can connect like this. So in this mode, it will measure the pressure of B2. Now you can fill the tank, both the tanks, in series as well as in the parallel mode. In the parallel configuration, the air must enter through here, and then this valve should be open, fully open, to let the air flow in both the tanks B1 and tank B2. They will fill simultaneously at the same time. So this will be parallel configuration, and you can measure the pressure of any one of the tank. Suppose if you want to measure the pressure of B2 tank, put the HV1 valve in this configuration to measure the pressure of B2, and you can take the output from here or here by opening, and the input goes to both the tanks. In this way you can operate in parallel configuration. If you want to operate in the series configuration, valve position should be like this. The air will enter to tank B1, then open the valve. It will enter from B1 to tank B2, and it will fill both the tanks in series. You can measure the pressure of tank B2 by connecting like this, or if you want to regulate the pressure of tank B1, you can move the sensor position and you can regulate the pressure of B1, or you can regulate the pressure of B2. They are manual pressure indicators. However, the pressure is also indicated in the instrumentation. Let us now understand the process and instrumentation diagram. Here this is the control valve, air supply. Then air supply can be passed to either of the tanks B1 and B2. And here, after the air enters any one of the tank, or it can also enter both the tanks. This is for the pressure sensor. It can sense the pressure of B1 or B2 by changing the valve position. Then after it senses the pressure, it sends to the process control system. Then depending upon the error, based on the set point, the signal will be transferred to the control valve. Its pressure will be adjusted. Either it will open or it will close the compressed air supply to control the pressure. Now, to operate the system, we need to run the software of Gunt. Double click the software. Here in the diagram you can see the process diagram. You can see this is the chart area. Here you can write the set point. Here you can write the values for the controller parameters. Kp is the proportional gain for the proportional controller. Tn, this is the integral time for the integral element, and Tv will be the time for the differential element. This shows you the process variable. It will also show you the error in the chart as well as the manipulated variable once you start the device. In this area you can record the measured values continuously by clicking it continuous. It will display the measured values, how many values have been measured. You can fix the time interval every 1 second or 10 seconds. And you can create a file before you start recording the data. Create a notepad file, save it, give it a name, experiment 1, then save it in a folder. Say for example desktop, you can save it, then keep the file open. Then you can give the path of measurement data file by clicking here, then selecting the file from the place where you have saved it. Here in desktop you have saved the name of the file. You can type experiment 1, it will display, and select it, click OK. Then it will take the path of the measurement data file as experiment 1 exp1.txt. Then you can start recording the data continuously. It will ask you whether you want to replace the data, old data, or you want to attach. You can replace the old data or you can attach it. It will start recording the values continuously. Every 1 second it will record the measured values. Then you can see the measured values by opening the file experiment 1. If you open it, it will show you the data has been entered like this. You can copy paste the data and analyze in the Excel later on.